The cavern smelled of ozone and singed faith. Vistral watched Kalkizadek being dragged toward possession, a writhing tendril burrowing under flesh and light. His hands shook, his breath fractured. The others were frozen. He did something they had all vowed never to witness. He slid a hand into his coat and drew out a sealed black prism, its surface veined with warning sigils. Small and terrible, it seemed to swallow the dim. "I didn't want to use this. I never wanted to." His voice broke, then hardened. He slammed his thumb against the biometric lock. The prism ignited, vomiting sickly, multicolored light that tasted like static. "Get back! This thing destabilizes anything with an energy field," he shouted. Kalkizadek turned, eyes wide and burning. The entity sensed the device and tried to force itself faster. "I will enter you, God, or not." Cracks of void threaded up Kalkizadek's arm, black veins snaking for his heart. Instead of cowering, Kalkizadek leaned into the invasion. His gaze flared with celestial fire. "Then burn on the threshold," he roared. And from within him a golden purge erupted. Flames of holy light crawled along muscle and bone, searing the corruption like acid on shadow. The tendril smoked, the entity shrieked, voice cracking. No stop. Before it could recoil, Super A slammed down beside them, boots cracking the chamber stone. "Hold it steady," he cried. He seized the searing tendril with both hands. The void matter licked his palms. He screamed but did not let go. Muscles bulged, power flaring. He heaved. The floor split under the force. Kalkizadek, haloed in burning gold, braced at the far end. Together they stretched the limb taut, and the corruption began to fray. Thread by trembling thread, Emsky steps forward, eyes shining with total clarity. He lifts one hand, fingers splay, trembling from measured precision. A gold-violet light gathers at his palm, coalescing into a razor-thin arc of harmonic energy. Around him the chamber holds its breath. Super A and Kalkizadek lock eyes and nod. Silence narrowed the room until even the smallest sound could be heard clearly. Emsky speaks, voice steady. "I can sever it cleanly. Just keep it steady." Super A, soft answers. "Do it, Em." 4 forces converge like gears, Vistral's prism humming, destabilizing the void. Kalkizadek's divine burn pinning corruption. Super A's raw strength pulling the tendril taut, and Emsky's harmonic blade poised for the strike. The entity thrashes, a storm of shadow. Its voice rips through the air. "Stop, do not, cut, do not, cut." Panic like flayed wind. Emsky inhales, drawing the world into his chest. Time stretches into a blade. On the exhale, he promises. And he exhales. He swings. The harmonic arc sings as it passes. A pure note. It cleaves the tendril with surgical precision. Sound and light collide. And shock. The tendril fractures into fractal shards that dissolve into motes of empty night. Corruption recoils. Kalkizadek staggers, his burn fanging out as the rotten flesh scorches away. Super A is thrown by recoil, sliding then catching himself, eyes bright with strain. Vistral's prism, overloaded by feedback, shudders and detonates, scattering and shredding the last void filaments before they can knit. The chamber exhales a stunned silence. Super A, panting, turns to Emsky. You did it." Emsky lowers his hand, shaking, smiling through sweat. "We all did," he says. Kalkizadek, solemn, warns, "This battle has shifted, but the entity has not fallen." Vistral stares at the ruined prism, horrified and relieved, holding the remnants of a power that nearly consumed him. The severed void thrashes in the air, a leftover tendril writhing like a nerve searching for a body. Black static roils, folding into a whirlpool that hums with broken voices. From the dark, a glitching whisper pierces, "Reform, reclaim." The stump elongates, stretching toward its hovering mass with a shriek of dimensional feedback. Vistral throws up an arm, shielding his face from the distortion. He says quietly, "It's trying to regrow the cut destabilized its structure." Behind the thing, a thin, jagged wound opens in the world itself, leaking bands of inverted starlight that braid and fall like reversed rain. The air tilts, hair, fabric, and dust drift toward the tear as if gravity has learned a new direction. Super A grits his teeth and digs in. "Gravity's going sideways." Kalkizadek's face goes cold, recognition ripping through him. "No, It's collapsing its form back into the sublayer. Emsky steps forward, grounding himself against the skew. His inner glow hiccups, resonance thrown by the warping physics. If it fuses through that rupture, he warns, it won't just reform, it'll anchor on both sides. Then it can cross freely. Vistral swears under his breath. So it's building a door out of its own wound. The creature answers by stretching, living void between stump and tear, weaving a bridge of black light. Multiple voices overlap, a chorus of fractured tones. We will encompass. We will reconstitute. The tear widens in a harmonic shriek that makes the stone floor crack in a ring around them. Super A lunges, but space in front of him folds like paper, bending away and pushing him aside. I can't get close, he shouts. For a breathless instant the world holds its breath, heroes braced on a cracking ring, a bridge of void knitting two realities together, and the choice narrowing to one impossible move that will decide whether the breach becomes a door or a dead end. Light hiccups across the rift as Calchizedek staggers, clutching his chest. A tiny ember of void corruption flickers beneath his ribs, old light, still alive. He breathes out, voice rough. It left a seed in me, a coordinate marker. Emsky's shoulders tighten, meaning it'll use you to lock the rupture from both sides. The words land like stones. Calchizedek's eyes harden. Divine fire kindles behind them. He knows what this means. He must burn the seed now, or the breach will be sealed with him as its lock. Behind them, the tear shudders. Its edges begin to frost and snap into crystalline geometry, like a portal assembling a frame. The thing within elongates, sinew and shadow stretching thinner, reaching for completion. A low rising sound vibrates through the air, an inhuman drone that sets teeth on edge. Vistral yells over the resonance. It's anchoring to him. Calchizedek is the keystone. If that seed ignites, the tear becomes permanent. All four heroes brace against the storm. Flames spike from Calchizedek. Super A shields Emsky. Emsky pours a harmonic aura into the ground. Vistral lifts the ruined prism fragment, its glow wavering. They have one instant to choose. Sacrifice the keeper, or watch the world fall through. The choice will be written in fire. Soon, the rupture yawns like a wound behind the entity. Calchizedek strains, holding the last corruption at bay. Super A braces for a suicidal charge. But Emsky steps forward alone. He lifts a single steady hand. His glow shifts not gold-violet, but an impossible deeper color, spiraling outward like a blooming star. Calm, resolute, he says, no more running, no more fear. This ends with me. Super A cries, Emsky, wait. But Emsky does not falter. The world blurs into spirals as he rises off the ground. His aura detonates into a towering pillar of resonance. Glyphs on the walls respond. The chamber begins to sing with him. A low, sustained hum wells up, a woolum that makes stone vibrate. The entity stutters, panicked. You cannot match the sublayer power. Emsky opens his eyes, burning like two converging stars. I don't have to match you. I surpass you, he intones. Energy condenses around his hands. Blade, hammer, wave, pulse all form simultaneously. A pure instrument of intent. He thrusts outward. Harmonic light coils and lashes. Krolol. The entity's body shatters into fractal shards. The rupture implodes inward. The entity screams. Then the scream is erased from existence. Silence arrives, heavy and absolute. As the void collapses, Vistral staggers backward. He looks at Emsky not with fear, but with bitter recognition. Someone whose part in the story has ended. Guess the prism wasn't the only dangerous thing in my coat, he murmurs. Soft, resigned. Emsky turns his hand toward him, not angry, not cruel, just final. Your path is finished. A single harmonic note rings, clean and bright. Vistral begins to dissolve, sparkling like dust lifted on a wind that is not there. He slips away without a scream. The chamber exhales. The world, Calchizedek kneels, as the last embers of corruption evaporate. He looks at Emsky with awe and ancient understanding. He says, you have walked through power mortals were never meant to bear, and yet you remain whole. Emsky nods, tired but steady. Go, he replies. Your temple needs you reunited. Calchizedek smiles, the first genuine smile in ages. and it reshapes the light around him. He becomes a column of white gold radiance and ascends through the broken roof. The air sings. Stone dust spins outward as an enormous breath leaves. The chamber shudders. Light threads stitch the wound shut. The rupture seals, and the temple begins to collapse behind them. Outside, dawn is a narrow promise. Super A stands beside Emsky, battered and breathing. "You actually did it, Em." "All of it," he says, voice uneven with relief. Emsky rests a hand on his shoulder. "We did. Now, let's go home." The divine glow around Emsky softens into a gentle halo as he steps into a beam of sunlight slicing through the clouds. Super A follows. On a hillside above ruin, they watch Earth's new day. Smoke drifts where the temple once stood. Emsky looks peaceful, calm, ready. The entity falls. The temple rests. Vistral fades. Melchizedek ascends. And Emsky, strongest at last, walks back into the world he saved.